Hey, here goes nothing. Let's start off with, hey, how you doing? What's up? How, everybody, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm good. You're good. We're all good. Great. This is the part of the video that has nothing to do with anything in the video, really. I'll try to find some way to tie it together. Probably won't be able to. As some of you may know, or may not know, I totaled my car in a car accident about 2 months ago. Took about 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get the settlement from the insurance company. And so since then I've been looking for cars online. Now I've owned about, who knows, 20 cars, 25 cars, nothing really expensive, just a lot of very mid-range cars, or maybe a little lower than mid-range cars. I have never bought a car from a dealership. Most of my cars come from auctions, sometimes from private sellers. But the last time I bought a car was about 4 years ago, and since then, the entire market's different, and the amount of private sellers in my city, Athens, is very much dwindled. Most people who are private sellers are actually just listing dealership vehicles under a private account. It's been like 4 or 5 weeks. So I'm like, I have to bite the bullet. I have to at least go see what's going on. So today I took that dive. Grabbed my girlfriend, jumped in the car, because I want to buy a car. I intend to buy a car. I'm like, I'm going there, I'm gonna buy a car, let's get out of here. So I find a car, it's decent, it's high mileage, but a pretty reliable car. I won't be very specific about it, but I will say it's not gonna be domestic. Not gonna do that. My car that got totaled was a Toyota Camry, so we're driving in the car on the way there, and I'm just like, man, I was in a dealership one time, 20 years ago, and it was just a colossal waste of time. Thank God I didn't buy anything from them. Anyhow, I get to the dealership today. Now I checked out the car online, saw the pictures, and I'm like, okay, it's not gonna be a perfect car, it's not gonna be a pristine car. You pay for what you get. I get there, man. Immediately, my first thing is, let's see do the doors work all the way around? Do the windows work? Yeah. How about the trunk? The trunk's a little weird. I'm like, your trunk's a little weird? Then I noticed the fenders popped out like an inch or two on the driver's side. Okay, now the Carfax says no accidents. Obviously, it's been a front-end collision. That's why the front bumper's displaced. The trunk is slightly out of level. It's higher on the right than it is on the left. Rear end collision? Maybe. Get in the car. Driver's visor hanging. It's only connected on one side. It's hanging and obstructing the view of the rearview mirror. Center console torn off. The entire lid is gone. I'm like, well, I'm here. Maybe I can negotiate if I want to get this piece of trash just to get me around for a couple months before I buy something better. Test drive the car. The AC does not blow cold. It blows kinda cold. So I'm guessing low freon in the system because there's a leak in the system, which means the entire AC system is probably on its way out. And then accelerating, down the street, LED screen. When I hit the 30s, the middle bar of the top of the 3, where the top of the 3 would be, burnt out. So on the actual LED display of your miles per hour, all the LEDs are not functional. And I'm like, really? So I take the car back. Lady comes out and it's like, okay, so are there any issues with the car? So I start listing them all. And she's like, yeah, we could probably get that fixed. We can get that fixed. And I'm like, I've already heard enough. If you could fix this, but you didn't fix it, because you could just repair the car and sell it for more money. Instead, you're attempting to sell a piece of trash. And if someone wants you to fix it, you'll fix it. It's like, yeah. So I wasted a whole, day. Not really a whole day, 4 hours, which is kind of like a day. Anyways, let's tie that back. Let's tie this all together. I am going to watch this video, and it's going to be the full video, and it's going to be crystal clear when I hear it. You are not going to see all that because you are watching a reaction. I am watching the video. You are watching a reaction. And however bad this may be, And if you don't like it, I understand. It is so much better than buying a car from a car dealership. The worst. It's the worst. It's unless you're just rich. If you're like, hey, you know what? Charge me $5,000 extra. I'll just pay you for it. Then yeah, you can get whatever you want. But that's, you know, I'm not rocking with that type of money. Plus, I don't finance. You make your own opinions on that. I mean, obviously, you could finance a car at 6 or 7, 8%, and then use the money you're not spending on the car for other investments that yield higher than 6, 7, 8%. But if I'm gonna purchase something, even a depreciating asset like a car, I want to own it. Now, obviously, if it was I was gonna say a building, but those appreciate. But if I'm dealing with a car, like I just want to buy it. I want to make payments. It's my car. I don't want a lien holder. So anyways, that is 6 minutes. Look at me getting comfortable with myself again. If you're mad, you probably already left. And if you're still here and you're mad, good for you. Good for you for sticking out. Angelina Jordan, Diamond. I've got my surgeons on call. We're going to fillet this mix. But I'm excited. Okay, let's go.
Bring it on, my heart is strong.
Whoa, that start.
Bring it on.
What was that hit? That was weird.
My heart is. Bring it on, my heart is strong. There's nothing I won't do. Try to. The smoke will be my proof. You thought you stole, I fought my soul.
Whoa, this is definitely the oddest thing I've ever heard her do. I'm thinking about the backing track, and there's something odd. I'm hearing the keys kind of hit like they're in 3/4, 6/8, whatever you want to call it. But it's a little. Sorry, I gotta go back.
Try to knock me down, I scorch the ground. The smoke will be my proof. What you don't understand.
No, the keys are accenting 1 and 3. The keys are accenting the same way a drum set would be. But the keys are hitting the accents.
I fought my soul. What you don't understand. It's that pressure bit in the sand.
Whoa. So the keys are accenting super hard. The drums are doing, is that just a stick hit? Like a little side stick? And then we got some strings. Are they doing 8th notes?
But I'm here still, like diamonds in the.
Yeah, the strings are doing 8s.
It's that pressure bit, but I'm the sand.
Ooh.
Pressure bit, but I'm here still, like diamonds in the sand. I love.
What?
And I know, and even when life is hard, I'm shining up high, my heart wide open. So
Oh, that's the most rhythm I've heard in her voice on a short range.
supernova with my head up high, my heart wide open. So turn off the lights.
Okay, most of you guys are like 50 plus, so you might not recognize it. This structure is actually very much like Dr. Dre from the mid 90s. Right after Snoop Dogg came on the scene, the old G-Funk era. This mix is very much mid 90s G-Funk, just the instruments are a little bit different. A little different. There's a lot in common between this backing track and Eminem circa 1998, 2002. These little choppy, so back then it would be on the keys for the like California Love, that type of sound. But now this time it's in the strings instead of in the keys.
Wide open, so turn off the lights. I shine even more bright.
Ooh, and slightly distorted drums, kind of overdriven. This is the most modern thing. Yeah, there's a lot about it. The actual mix is very modern. Her singing on top of it's modern, and the rhythm of her vocals is also extreme. This is, for her, extremely unique. Okay, and also, even though everything's very loud, she's very much sitting on top of the mix. She's very much front and center, even though the backing track is boisterous, to be nice. It's a boisterous backing track. She's definitely front and center, even those overdriven drums are lower in volume than she is. Now I'm about to show you, so turn off the lights. And she's got a backing track, a backing vocal track that instead of it serving as a harmony to her voice, it's just another instrument. It's like doom doom yay, doom 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 yay. And the yay's coming on 3, so that goes back to the whole song basically being a rock driven. This 1-3. But on 3, you get the vocal. Doom doom ka doom 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 yay. Doom doom ka doom 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 yay. I go down on me 'cause I believe I'm exactly where I'm meant to be. Young and free, powerful, and I'm made for me. I love. That transition blew me away the first time, and this is still a very abrupt transition. Oh, yeah, if you want some verbiage, an abrupt transition means no transition, right? There are ways for moving from section to section. An abrupt transition, at least in my understanding of using that, means there's no actual connection between one section and the other. They abruptly shift. So really an abrupt transition means no transition. But obviously the sections change. So you did transition from one section to another, but how did you get from one to the other? You didn't do anything. You just stopped and switched. Hey! I love it. But da 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 with the supernova, but da 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 do do do. Like these very, very heavy accents in the vocals that really drive the whole song. It makes it modern. This is what you don't really hear in the 50s, 60s. This is not, those old throwback jazz tunes do not have a very percussive element in the vocal lines. Right? It's the melody and the delivery that really carry the old tunes. But this is kind of adding something like drum percussion to the delivery of the vocal lines. The with the supernova, and then you're using these, I forget what they're called. I don't know. I don't remember. But the frictives, I don't know. I'm not good at linguistics or whatever it's called. But using the P's and the D's as actually percussive elements to launch your vocal line from. So your P's and D's kind of start sounding like bass drums and snare drums in your vocal delivery. Oh, even that, like a little liaison, my head up high. So the H is kind of on the beat, but instead the way you sing it is you lean on the P with my head up high, and you move quickly from the P to the H with my head up high, and you kind of bounce off the P to keep that percussiveness going. Oh, but then she's still doing her old thing, so this is kind of, I think it's interesting. What did she say? Bright? What's bright? Heart bright? I shine even more bright. I shine even more bright. But when I shine even more bright, because that's not a percussive part, the T kind of disappears. Shine so bright. It's not shine so bright. It's shine so bright. And you kind of swallow the T. So the way so the T could be percussive, but the way she's very intentionally making some consonants over percussive and making other ones not percussive is making the rhythm be very, very catchy.
Turn off the lights. I shine even more bright. Show yourself.
Hey.
Turn off the lights. I shine even more bright. So turn off the lights. Shine even more. So turn off the lights.
Ooh.
Like a diamond.
Dude, I don't know who produced this track, but it's very much unlike anything I've heard her do that I can remember anyways. We've done like 200 videos of Angelina, 150, I don't know, something like that. That is, yeah, I'm gonna stick to my guns after hearing the whole song. It is very much like Dr. Dre G-Funk era, just kind of missing the synth. But outside of that, the background vocals, the rhythmic playing of the keys, the comping of the key, well, not comping is rhythm, but the fills in the keys, the string section, the way the bass works, man, that is mid 90s, late 90s Dr. Dre beats, which is what you want. He's one of the most successful producers of all time. I don't know if you want it. I love it. I'm out. I said I'm out. I'm just kind of shocked. I'm just shocked. Now this is where we might really, really disagree. It's such a perfect track to have a feature, to have someone come on. But probably what I would want to see featured on the track would be something that would make you hate the track. That's why you get a remix. She's got this version out already. She has this version. Why not get someone to come on and do a remixed version with a feature of another artist on it? And then you as the listener, you just listen to whichever one you like. If you like the original, that's the one you listen to. And if you like the remix, you go to that. Yeah, I thought that was... So far, I think I've heard 3 songs. And so far, they're all very, very good. But as far as the one that I think's progressive enough... but they're all way more progressive than I thought she would be. She actually is like very much leaning in on being different in a good way, in a positive way. That shocked me, man. Dude, you get what I'm saying? Let me spell it out for you if you're still here. Let me spell it out for you. She just sang on a rap track. That's a rap track. You could take that beat and send it to a rapper and they might decide to make a song with that beat, with that backing track. And she just turned a whole rap track into a song. Hats off, man. Let's go.